One of the greatest people I have ever known is a Bangladeshi American named Mashiul Chowdhury. Mashiul has a day job, but is an artist by night and on the weekends. I met him at the Rosenfeld Gallery in 2013, and he has had solo shows at the Wallingford Art Center in 2014 and the wonderful Church Street Gallery in 2017. He also teaches a group of kids and has mounted 2 shows of their work.
My name is Mashiul Chowdhury. We are living in an extraordinary time. Our generation never experienced such a widespread infection and pandemic. My show was scheduled for April 3rd, only few days from now at Church Street Gallery in Westchester, Pennsylvania. Owner of the gallery, John Supley and Carol Giblin, gave me this opportunity again to display my work, and unfortunately things now have changed. I've been preparing for this show for the past 2 years. It's a disappointment, but I know there are many artists who are in a similar situation. I'm at least fortunate that I have a daytime job, but for many, it's not the reality. My heart goes out to them who live life by selling and showing their works, running workshops. My work mainly involves urban landscapes and partly figure drawings. Landscapes are semi-abstract. My approach towards landscapes evolved over decades. I work with oil media. I find it very rich and flexible media. There are works which I do on-site, plein air, but bulk of my paintings are done in my studio. I work every day and I push myself very hard. Each of my paintings evolve over time. There are lots of layers of paint, sometimes use of graphite and charcoal and pencil to bring the forms. I give lots of emphasis on drawings. It's the essential part in my painting process. I study subject matter by practicing drawings, sometimes inside my car, in the waiting room area, while sitting in an airplane, all kinds of situations. I go to Pennsylvania Academy of the Fine Arts in Philadelphia every Saturday. I join my fellow artists and practice figure drawings. It's such a rewarding experience, not only able to shine my drawing skill, but learning from each other. I post my works regularly on Facebook and other social media. Hopefully my show will be rescheduled, so hope for the best.
During the day, Mashiul works as a physician. He is a professor of medicine and the chief of infectious disease at the Cancer Treatment Centers of America. He has led task forces for SARS, MERS, and other deadly viruses like Ebola. He has received the prestigious I Am Patient Safety Award from the Hospital Association of Pennsylvania. Mashiul asked me to pass this message along for everyone. We are going to get through this. This pandemic is taking an extraordinary toll all over the world, but if we can contain it through social distancing, hand hygiene, and staying at home as much as possible, we will control this virus. For every tough situation, we need to examine it, learn lessons, and then apply what we've learned to the future. We must not lose hope, and something good can come out of this difficult situation. We may be locked down at home, but we can still be productive by being creative, engaging with one another online, and taking care of our vulnerable neighbors. We need to be our best selves. When you are outside of your home, Imagine that you are carrying the virus and that you could pass it on. This will help you keep a safe distance from other people. Please implement the measures suggested by Dr. Anthony Fauci. If we all do our part, we will win. But Mashiul also had some pretty stern thoughts about how our society and leaders are being short-sighted about public health. He said the biggest blunder so far has been the lack of testing, which has hampered our knowledge of the way it is spreading and its fatality rate. He wonders why so many Americans refuse to get an annual flu vaccination, pointing out that the flu kills 250,000 people worldwide every year. And he is angry about how we spend unlimited amounts for military defense while skimping on public health. We never lack for bullets, but we seem to forget about masks and gowns and other personal protective equipment for our medical staff. No lack of tanks, but people will die from our shortage of ventilators. He pointed out that there's a reason these new viruses are suddenly appearing, and that reason is climate change. Plus, though we are focused on this pandemic, millions die from malaria and tuberculosis around the world, and this could be prevented if the world was serious about stopping it. He believes that gun violence in our country is a public health issue, and that many more children will die from guns than from COVID-19. He concluded by telling me that this pandemic will end, but unless we make public health and climate change mitigation a real priority, we are setting the stage for future disaster. I can't thank Mashiul enough for the beauty of his art, his words of encouragement, and his warnings.
When we are horrified and doing social distancing, John is trying to pull us together and giving us opportunity to breathe and talk to each other. I'm so grateful, John, and thank you so much.
Back at ya, Mashiul.